Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I am sharing the best new way to grow on Instagram using ads. Now, this is a feature that Meta recently introduced that we've been testing over the last few weeks, and it is incredible in terms of the results we are seeing. I'm saying Meta because Meta owns Instagram, and we'll specifically be working in Meta Ads Manager today so I can show you the new feature, tell you and walk you through how it works, and also share the most successful ads we've been running so that way you can leverage this for your ads as well, which I haven't really seen anyone else talking about. So let's dive in. Now, this new option or feature, which can also be referred to as a conversion location, is the ability to drive people to visit your Instagram profile through ads. Now, it is a feature that was previously and still is available via the boost option. So via boosting posts on Instagram directly on your phone or whatever app that you're using. However, boosting posts do not have the level of customization that Meta Ads Manager does. And I actually filmed an entire video about this in terms of comparing what Meta Ads Manager does to what boosting a post can do for you. And it's pretty significant, the differences, so I won't rehash them here. You can definitely go check that out. And that was even before that new fee has been introduced, which is a 30% additional charge on those who have an iPhone or an iPad, any iOS device, and are creating an ad inside of Instagram. So now you'll be charged an additional 30% fee when you boost posts natively in app. And you don't have that when you create posts inside Meta Ads Manager. So we'll be working in Meta Ads Manager. It's already where the best ads are made anyways, and that's why I'm so excited that this feature to drive people to your Instagram profile has been introduced on that platform. So we're gonna go into Ads Manager now, and I'll showcase how you can create a fully customizable ad that has a clear objective stated to Meta to drive people to your profile, of course, with the intention of driving an action, which would typically be to get them to follow you. So let's get into Ads Manager. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is head over to Ads Manager. So that's adsmanager.facebook.com. If you don't have an account, you can easily set one up. I'll leave a resource below for you to do that. I also did a full Ads Manager tutorial taking you through the beginning to the end of how to create and launch an ad. It's 37 minutes. It's pretty long and pretty dense, but that is going to allow me to kind of get through this piece faster. I'm going to just speed through to the points that matter the most as opposed to rehashing everything again. So I'll leave that link in the description box for you below, and it'll also be linked up here as a card. What you'll do once you're in Ads Manager is just hit create. And then you're going to be creating a traffic campaign. So, oh my gosh, back in the day, this was so much work to try to do all these tricks to get people over to your profile to follow you while also still being able to customize ads and do all these things. I'm just so happy this feature exists and it's been working so well. So you're gonna choose your campaign. It's going to be traffic. Then you'll hit continue. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to say just do manual traffic campaign. If you are really new to ads and you don't feel comfortable, you can use the recommended settings, which will mean that Meta is going to make a lot of those decisions for you on targeting and all these things. I prefer manual traffic campaigns to have a bit more power and customization, and also recommend it for our clients as well. But just letting you know that that exists. Then you're going to go to campaign name. That's just the name of your overall campaign. So we can call this Instagram profile growth. For example, you don't need to touch anything else except potentially the campaign budget. So that just means that's the amount that you want Meta to distribute the budget across multiple ad sets. You may not even have to worry about multiple ad sets, but you can. That just means you'd be testing various audiences and potentially creative against each other. For the purposes of this video, let's just keep it on in case you do decide to have multiple ad sets. It just means don't spend more than X amount per day. So then we're going to head over next into our ad set. So that is you telling Meta what you want to happen, how much you want to spend, and who you want Meta to promote to on your behalf. So the ad set name, that is usually what I recommend. It's like who you're targeting. So for example, SMBs and creators on Instagram, for example. And then what's the most important part of this objective is in the conversion location, you're going to want to select Instagram profile. That means Meta is going to send traffic to your Instagram profile, which is what we want. And in a second, we'll talk about the types of ads that have been the most effective here and how you can make sure that somebody is more likely to convert when they land on your profile. But let's get through the ad first. So again, as I mentioned, going to speed through a little bit here because I have a whole video on it, but you choose your budget, so how much you want to spend and what dates you want your ad to run, so you can give it hard dates, or you can let it just kind of continue to run until you decide to manually shut it off. And then you would, of course, choose your audience. So these are the audience controls that Meta will offer. So a consideration that I want to mention here is, who do you serve? So if you are in a business that's, say, a service-based business where you can serve everybody, like you're a course creator or something, and so it doesn't matter where someone actually lives, you should be able to service them, then you can keep your audiences a bit more expansive. You can also leverage the data you have about who your current audience is and what's worked well in the past in order to keep bringing those types of people in. If you're a local business who serves specific states, specific provinces, whatever that may be, of course, it's going to make more sense to have your followers be in those locations. So that's something you want to consider when you're selecting your audience. For this video, I'll keep things pretty open and I'll say I already know where our top audiences are. So I might say United States because I'm keeping things pretty broad and I'm going to let Meta kind of narrow down a little bit more for me, since I just want to be in front of as many people as possible as long as they hit potentially a few pieces of criteria. So we can say US and Canada, for example, and I think the UK is our other big audience. So we can say US, Canada, UK, for example, because I know that's where like our most engaged followers are located. And then you can narrow down to an additional demographic or interest or behavior. So for us, what we've been doing is testing a few audiences against each other. The audience that's been performing the best for us so far is our broadest audience. So it just has one detailed targeting outside of the location. So for example, for us, we could just say anyone who is a business owner. So we could say small business owner. So actually for this ad set, I wouldn't even do creators. I would just have SMBs on Instagram. So that would be a small business owner, and you can see that our audience is fairly broad. So again, if you were somebody who was, I always use like photographers, it just happens, but if you were somebody who was a photographer living in Toronto, you might just want to narrow your audience and you only could serve Toronto. Your audience would look a little bit different because you would make sure that your audience location is Toronto. And then if it was something specific where like you do weddings, then maybe you would just choose wedding as the detailed targeting option. But you could also just choose Toronto and have Meta just kind of narrow down from there. It just depends on how many constraints you want to put on Meta when they're looking for the right people to send to your profile. When we're looking at placements, Meta is going to understand already what your placement should be because it's just the objective is just to get to Instagram. So even if you look here, if we went to manual, you'll see that only the Instagram placements are available, which is exactly what we want. So we can just leave that as Advantage Plus placements turned on, and then we'll hit next. So that means now we've told Instagram or we've told Meta that we want to reach people who are in a specific area who meet a specific targeting, but we've gone fairly broad. So that way we get as many people viewing our profile as possible and we don't put too many constraints unless it's completely necessary. So now we head into the traffic ads. So the ad level is the creative that you're going to put in front of somebody. So it's what people see. So when you're thinking about your ad and what makes a successful ad, you'll want to put in front of your potential follower something that is likely to convert. So you want to be really intentional with the content that you're using because you're not promoting something off platform. You want to deliver something that says, hey, you're going to want to come back for more. Head over to my profile and hit follow. So the best way that we have found to do this is by leveraging the posts that you already have on your feed that drove the most follows for you. So this would mean you would go into your Instagram insights or you would go to your top performing posts and check out which posts drove the most follows. So if your ad has reached 1,000 people and 20 people became followers, you know what to expect as you continue to scale up, which is the best. You want that predictability in terms of, okay, if I spend this amount, this is likely what I'm able to get from it. And also it's just, if something's performed organically well, it's likely to do well when it's paid, just on a larger scale in general. If you don't have insights to leverage, you can actually just create content or leverage content that you have that best represents what people can expect when they follow you. Always, even for, the content that got you the most follows, or for content that you're creating and just trying to understand what would work best, which will require some testing, make sure that the content is value-driven content. That's what's most likely to convert. So you want content that not only represents who you are, your brand, and what people can expect. So for us who share a lot of social media related tips, our post that we would put as an ad is definitely going to be a social media tip. And that's because of the third reason, which I'm bringing up here, which is a specific call to action in the first line that says what you want the person to do. So you would be putting that value-driven post, or the post that you already know has driven follows for you in the past, and putting a clear call to action in the first line of the caption that says, follow this account. So follow at High Season, for example, follow at High Season Co. for more social media tips. So for you, follow handle for more X. So whatever X may be, whether that be social media tips, whether that be photography tips, whether that be more funny videos, whatever you're offering, whatever you promise through your content, that's what you want your ad to represent, the best version of the content that you share, so people want more of it. In terms of the content type, we found the most success with Reels, but carousels are pretty close second as well. And in the end, when it comes to Reels, we all know Meta loves video content. So if you do share a ton of Reels on your profile, it of course makes sense that you are sharing in your ad the types of content that you share more regularly on your feed. Okay, so with those considerations in mind, if we're looking at the ad set here, you're going to want to, I'm going to just do it as High Season here. So we'll just say it's like 3 ways to grow on Instagram. That's just the ad name. We would head over down to the ad set, and then we would create a new ad. You could use an existing post. However, because we really want to customize this a little bit and have a clear directive that's asking people to do something, which is follow, we're going to create a new ad, and you can still pull from the posts that are already on your feed. So navigate down to your ad creative, you'll hit add media. And for example, if this is a reel, we'll do add video. And then all the things that I've uploaded in the past, whether it be previous ads, or if it's something that's specifically on my Instagram account, will be here to leverage. So for example, I'm just pulling any post here, which was one about how to get more reels views. You'll see that pulling up with Craig talking in the corner, and you'll see the previews as well of how the ads will show up. And you can see on stories, there's that clear CTA there, and in feed and on the reels as well. And then we would put follow at High Season Co. for more Instagram. So a little lightning there. Perfect. And that's your creative. And you could test a few other variations of that text as well. I definitely recommend testing a few different pieces of creative. So any and all of your top performing posts that ended up resulting in more follows for you, test them all against each other. Then you can leverage the Advantage campaign budget to have Meta decide where to put the most money based on what's performing the best. Now, we've talked about how to create a really great ad that drives people to click that visit Instagram profile, but the second thing we need them to do is actually hit follow, and that's going to be by making sure that your profile is optimized for conversion. So the conversion being the follow. Now, the way that you do this is by making sure that when someone lands on your profile, it is very clear who you are, what they can expect, or who you serve. So making it super clear through the description in your bio that that person is in the right place so that they are more inclined to hit follow. There are a few other things in optimization that you can do. We broke it down in a checklist that I'll leave up here and I'll also leave in the description box below. That's a full Instagram profile checklist that takes you through every single step you need to consider when you're looking to have a fully optimized Instagram profile and bio. But overall, you want to make sure that your profile gets people to hit follow. And if in the end, the promise that you offer in your ad doesn't match the promise on your profile, they're not going to follow through and they're not going to follow. Another thing that you're going to want to make sure you do is leverage your pinned posts on your Instagram profile. The first pinned post should be some form of an explainer or story of who you are. So again, reinforcing why someone should follow you. And then the second one should be your best piece of content that will let people know they are in the right place. So a piece of content that best represents what you offer. Really, the third one should definitely be some type of freebie or offer too, but that's not really part of this video. Think about it in the same way as you would with a landing page. So you have an ad and you're driving people to a landing page where you want them to convert. You would make sure that you have everything that's important and necessary so that they easily say yes and give you their email or their phone number or whatever the conversion is supposed to be. Your Instagram profile is the exact same thing. All right, so that is it for today. That is how you can use this new option within Meta Ads Manager to drive visitors to your profile and convert them into new followers. Again, if you are newer to ads and you think it would be helpful to have a step-by-step walkthrough of how to create your ad, definitely recommend that you check out that video, my Instagram ads tutorial that I'll leave in the description box below. Also recommend that you check out that profile optimization checklist to make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance to actually convert those followers over. Also have a ton of resources. They're going to be linked below. Ads, cheat sheets, all that fun stuff to set you up for success. If you do want some, a bit more tailored support, we do have a membership group. It's $5 a month. You can ask your questions in there. We go live bi-weekly, and we also do priority DM responses on Instagram for members only, or you could just consult with me. Tons of resources. That's all I'm saying. All right. So I will leave this video here for you because I think it'll be super helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Please comment and let me know how this goes because the results, again, we're seeing are crazy. So would love to see that for you all as well. And see you in the next one. Bye.